Yo, oh, jeez, my voice. Welcome back to Nurse Stream. Today we're doing a reaction stream. Basically, yeah, I don't really have much to say right at this exact moment. I don't know what I'm gonna say. All right, let me pull up my streams. All pulled up. All right, so let's start off with this. All right, so this is the sixth most disturbing forest findings con camera. I'm not ready for this. I used to watch this channel like a couple months ago, golly, and I was so scared. I think the problem with watching these guys' videos is that, oh, yeah, I already hate it. Oh my god, I already hate it. The problem with watching this, bro, is that, like, I instantly just, like, especially Forrest, it's like, dude, I hate that stuff. It's like I'm always thinking when he's playing the footage, something's gonna jump out. I know that odds are he's not gonna put jump scare, but we'll check. That's probably not the case.
This first finding was made by hiker James Rankin in early October of 2016. James had been hiking in Berkeley-Jackson County Park.
Alright, is it just me, or is it just like seeing footage of someone in the woods, even in daytime, creepy? Like if I was walking in the woods in daytime, I wouldn't be creeped out, but watching this footage, bro, I'm instantly like, oh God, no, please.
When he came across an old campsite. But disturbingly, all around the campsite were multiple different missing person posters
Oh
taped
hell
onto
no.
trees. The posters themselves were completely real, featuring real missing people across different US states. Upon his discovery, James would quickly start recording.
Okay, we're deep,
I don't
deep,
want to watch
deep in the
this
woods.
already.
Sort of, we're like on the border, cause like there's a side of the woods where there's people's houses. But I came to a trail that led to a trail that led to a trail up the hill. But I saw what looked like a fire pit. And remember, we're still in the woods. We're still in the woods, right?
I think the problem with the woods for me is that when watching these videos, it's like the woods can obscure so much. Like even in this area, right? You think you like, oh wow, it looks pretty open. But dude, like if there's a campground right there, okay? There's definitely a guy nearby and he probably sees you and he's probably watching you. Is that not already creepy enough? Like, dude, get out of here. Why are you so I don't know. That guy, let's just word it this way. That guy who puts up posters of missing people is probably creepy in some ways mentally ill. So personally, I wouldn't deal with that because no insane person would collect, you know, I would argue trophies. Like it's basically, oh look. How often, by the way, how often do you find, does one find like missing persons, like papers? Like that's not really something that happens often, in my opinion at least. I don't think I've ever seen any, to be fair. So that's kind of
I
weird.
don't know what this is. Do you see the trees? Look at a white. Okay. I was like, okay, these are probably no trespassing signs, or maybe it's something for the wildlife or something. Look what these are.
Dude.
What the
Oh,
is
they're all
going?
from like the early 2000s. Oh God. Oh hell no. Hell no. I think the thing about it is like, what if, this is a theory, what if he killed these people or abducted them and I was, yeah, but why would you go in the middle of a campground? Yeah, I don't know. That just
On
doesn't
in
make
here.
sense. What
This
is
is
that?
Utah, Florida.
Damn.
They're all different. They're all different. Every single one. This one's from Georgia. And look at it. Like, look where the we are. Who the does something like this? And we got this one. And it's obviously these, you can tell, these aren't new. Like, not just that this is
What
2012,
are those holes, bro?
Noblesville, Indiana, right? Look at the tape. Look at the water damage. These bits have been hanging up for a while. They just
Oh hell no. Yeah, I don't know why this guy's here. I instantly regret watching this video, bro. I'm not gonna lie. The fact that that tent is up is a sign that there's someone here. No one leaves a tent abandoned. If they do, it's because something serious happened, which is even more concerning. Because most normal people will never abandon shelter.
Uh,
How could you put your back against
Look at
the
that.
shelter? Oh my god.
and over here in the middle of the fire pit, that's a shovel.
Oh, he's buried.
James would ultimately
Oh,
report the
hell.
finding to the police. Though, upon further investigation, police would write it off as someone's Halloween decorations.
What?
James, however, was not satisfied with this investigation. His discovery took place on October 3rd, and according to James, the posters themselves did not look like they were set up recently. Later that same year, James would return to the campsite, but this time be stopped by multiple no trespassing signs.
Okay, first of all, I am not violating any of these no trespassing signs. I'm simply not.
I don't even see the
I
signs.
came here only to show you and get it on tape and leave. From here, we can see
I literally
down
can't
there.
see anything.
that's the clearing. So, anyway, what they've done, they printed out their own no trespassing signs. Homemade. I'm assuming
Alright, so
these are all legally binding.
how can you literally, I don't get it. How can you, am I delusional? Like, how can you literally just decide to claim a part of a forest? Because I don't know, it just doesn't seem like that's normal. How could, I mean, maybe he actually somehow managed to own property of the forest, which makes no sense because that's not usual at all. I don't know.
I have no way of knowing, so I'm not taking any chances. You can see they attached them to the trees with ordinary masking tape. These aren't even laminated. This is posted, private property, no trespassing. Violators will be prosecuted. And we've got one there, one there, one there.
Because the police had already closed their investigation, this would pretty much mark the end of the whole situation.
Wow. I mean, to be fair, okay. By the way, this is the reason why being a cop sounds so unappealing because, yeah, a lot of your calls might be like on traffic stops or whatnot with people who are normal. Or like, oh, you run to a Karen while doing a traffic stop. Sure. But imagine being a cop and having to go to the woods and investigate that. Like, dude, I don't care who you are not going to be like excited about that at all. You're gonna probably be creeped out. And the only people who would be willing to like do that are military members. Okay, I'm dude, maybe not, but
Back in 2013, a man named Phil Poling would upload this
I don't
video
like
to his
that.
YouTube channel. The video features Phil out late at night in his neighborhood, located in Mission, Oregon. Phil claimed to have heard strange noises echoing around outside his neighborhood only a few minutes prior, which is why he was outside in the first place. Once he reached a nearby forest
hell
that was
no.
only around 200 feet from his house, he would again hear the noises.
No,
And
no.
this is where he started recording.
No, oh my god.
January 21st, about 11 p.m. I'm a couple hundred feet from my house. You can hear it going off in the background right now. Kind of sounds weird.
It could be teens messing
Kind
around.
of sounds doggish, hyena-ish.
Bro, it's just like hearing those noises and then looking and seeing pitch black right there. Hell no. Yeah, I'm gone. This is what I don't get. Why do people not care about, like, I don't care if you're getting a clip for the gram, bro. Like, it's not worth it. It ain't worth it.
I mean, that almost sounds like laughter.
Yeah, I have
It's
no idea
actually
what that
gotten
is.
closer since it started. It's probably only 200 feet, 300 feet from me right now.
How could you Oh, yeah,
The
no, that's an
recording of
animal.
noises
That's an
cont-
animal. You know why? Because of the way it laughed at the end or like giggled, it
100 feet
sounded
from me
like an
right
animal.
now.
Like right there, that sounded like an animal. That didn't. So that's not that big of a threat.
The recording of noises continued for a while longer, until the sounds of gunshots can be heard echoing from the forest.
Never mind. Okay.
I think that was a gunshot.
This guy has no like absolutely no like survival instincts. Kind of pisses me off. Like, dude, if you hear a gunshot, I mean, again, I don't, first off, I don't, where do they say from Oregon? Like, I don't think Oregon has daily shootings, so, like, I feel like if you heard a gun, you should be like, oh, I gotta run. I don't know. That just seems stupid. But you know what? I don't know. I'm not him. Okay, yeah, you need to run, buddy. Yeah, that just sounds like it's too close, bro. Get out
Multiple
of here.
people in the community itself had claimed to have been hearing similar noises for the last 2 months or so leading up to the recording. But just what exactly was making the noises is still unclear. This video features the GoPro footage of 2 dirt bikers riding on a remote path in the forest. Throughout the video, the bikers can be seen going at extreme speeds.
Oh yeah, I've seen this. Isn't this where there's a tripwire that could kill a man? Decapitate his head? Wait, then how did he survive? Wait, I
But
don't
doing
know.
this would quickly prove to become almost deadly. As the bikers continued on the path, they were unexpectedly met with a steel cable strung across 2 trees
Yeah,
at
yeah,
perfect
yeah.
neck level for oncoming bikers. At a fast enough speed, this trap could no doubt take the lives of anyone riding through that didn't see it. Fortunately, however, the biker in the front did see it, and was able to react quick enough to avoid it.
Um. Oh, you said it was made with metal? Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense then. I mean, it doesn't look like it's strong. It doesn't look like a decapitated man. What do I know though? Yeah, this is loosely tied. I don't know. Maybe I'm delusional. You could have seen that. Yeah, but like when you're going fast, I mean, yeah, I mean, most likely with that, like they weren't even going that fast. Like they obviously saw. I think most people probably would have seen it, but it's reaction time's the problem. Because, dude, not everyone has great reaction times. Like, yes, humans have insane speeds of reaction. Like, I think it was like 0.4 seconds or something. Reaction speed or something like that. Um, that doesn't mean that it's gonna work in that situation, though. I don't know. Like, for me, I know I have horrible reaction times. Like, dude, if I was in that situation, I'd be dead. No way. No way I would live. But to be fair, I wouldn't be driving around in the woods with dirt bikes or whatever they are because, frankly, that's stupid. I don't see the enjoyment of driving around a forest with bumpy paths. Bro, have you ever, like, hiked on a trail before in the forest and just, like, you see, like, the trail is, like, basically on the edge of a cliff and you look down and you're like, dude, all I have to do is accidentally walk a little bit to the side and I'm gonna fall off and die. Oh my God, I hate doing it. Like, especially when it's like rocky and there's roots in the trail and it's like, oh, I'm tripping or ooh, I almost tripped there and if you tripped, you could have fell off a cliff. Like, ooh, God, I hate it. It's one of my least favorite things. Oh my God. It just makes me so unappealing. To be fair, I don't like hiking in general. I think it's unappealing. But that is one of those things that's just like even worse. Why is bro going fast? Why
The
wouldn't you?
bikers would actually debate whether or not to stay and wait for the person who set up the trap to come back,
What?
but they would end up deciding against this. It's still unknown who's responsible.
Okay, that logic makes no sense. I'm sorry. Am I delusional? But no, I gotta stop saying that by the way. Like why would you assume that there's a person waiting for you? I don't think they're just. I don't know. The odds of them coming back is very low. Like what?
Mark Andre was a man who devoted his career to exploring the vast woods of Northern California. He worked as his town's environmental service director, so it was quite literally his job to spend time in the woods. In February of 2018, he had been tasked with marking trees, and while he was doing so deep in the woods, he would come across some makeshift cabin, which, considering the extreme remoteness of the area he was in, made the discovery highly abnormal. Mark would of course get a closer look at the structure. The thing was only around 8 by 12 feet wide and 15 feet tall.
There's a
There was a
lock.
lock on the shack's only entrance,
Damn.
and from the outside, there was no real evidence anyone was there. Still,
Wait. How do you unlock that lock? Because I'm looking at a lock and I'm thinking there's no like code or anything on it, so how do you unlock it? Maybe you need a key? I don't know. I don't know how to unlock that lock at all. Now that I think about it, there's a lot of locks look like that, and how do you unlock those? I have no idea. How do you?
disturbed by the finding, Mark would head back to get professional assistance. The next few days would consist of multiple attempts to contact the owner of the shack, but all of them ultimately failing. So, finally, upon revisiting the structure, the men would break open the lock to the front door. They would find a space that was clearly being lived in, or at the very least had been lived in recently. The shack had its own furniture, a pot-bellied stove, a small library, and even a typewriter. Jars and cans of
Damn,
food filled the
typewriter?
shelves. However, in spite of all this, the search resulted in no further identification of the actual owner. Because the shack was illegally constructed, the men ultimately had no other choice but to leave an eviction notice on the front door before leaving.
Bro.
A few days later, the authorities returned to see out the contract, but there was nothing there. The makeshift cabin was completely gone. Whoever the owner was had deconstructed it, with literally the only thing left behind being an international squatter symbol made from charcoal.
Wow.
Many theorized the owner was wanted by authorities, and was therefore living completely alone in the forest, evading any contact with other people. But whether or not this is
I'm sorry, if you're wanted by authorities, I'm not incredibly smart with this stuff, but I would personally just flee to some other country and then keep a low profile. I don't get these people, bro, who like they they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna stay in the country and live like across the country." You're gonna get caught. If you're in the United States and you commit a crime severe enough, you're gonna have like what was it called? The FBI after you. Like, dude, you're cooked. Like, once that happens, you're cooked. There's no leaving the country. To be fair, you could just cross to Canada. I don't know, but the problem is I don't know how that works. Like, if the United States, like you're in Canada, right? And you committed a felonies, multiple felonies, and you're now a citizen of Canada, right? And the United States is like, hey, we want them to put them on trial. Can Canada just be like, oh, we're gonna detain you and bring you to the United States? I don't know if that's how it works. I'd imagine that's how it works, but I don't know. I guess living in the middle of the woods is a smart idea, but to be honest, if I committed a felony, I would definitely not live in the woods. I would just go to jail, which sounds evil because jail sucks, but I'd rather be in jail than stupid in the middle of nowhere. Absolutely not. Like, oh my God, moose, bro. He's probably getting attacked by a moose.
even close to true is still up for debate. To this day, the real owner of the shack is still unidentified.
I mean, this is not really that scary though. Let's be honest. It's not scary that much.
This video was captured on an early morning in the middle of December. It takes place in Canada and features some disturbing noise echoing throughout the forest.
Another one of these.
It's not clear what the noise is. Many frequent hunters would report to have never heard anything even remotely similar.
You know what that is? I don't know. Scary shit.
Sounds like a animal in distress. Oh, dude, the way it echoes, hell no, bro. Hell no. Hell no. Yeah, the more I watch these videos, the more I realize I'm never going to the woods ever. I don't, like, the other day I had to talk with, I think it was someone, I don't remember. But I had to talk with someone, like, how much money would you go into the woods for, like, the night? How much money would you want? Like, what's the most amount, I mean, least amount of money you take? And I said, like, 100 million. I think I'd probably put a billion on there now, because, bro, there's no way. Now, I know that people go in the woods, by the way, and, like, they live perfectly fine. I know there's hundreds of thousands, millions of people do it. In fact, you know, back in the day, bro, it was common for people to live in the woods, right? But we live in a time where I can be a little scaredy cat and better known as pussy, and I can be fine. So I'll stick to living in, you know, my shelter, bro, rather than risking my life over some stupid I wouldn't say there's no amount of money that would bring me to the woods, so I'd say $1 billion and I'd consider it. But even then, that's okay, okay, but that's an exaggeration because that's the problem with finding, like, for me, it's like I always get greedy and want the more money than it's actually worth. Like, $1 billion, bro, I'd probably go for 500 million or 250. 100 million, though, that's questionable. I hate people who say money can't buy anything, bro. Like, if you were offered a certain amount of money, bro, you definitely would at a certain point. I have no idea what that
One
is.
comment suggested the noise could have been a wolf that was either trapped or left behind by its pack.
Yeah, it sounds like
It's
that.
also possible it was another animal, such as an elk or possibly a bull moose. Although
Oh,
none of these
what? Wait,
theories have
what
been
animal?
confirmed.
Isn't it? Oh, foxes. Allegedly, foxes make creepy noises apparently when they screech at you or whatever. I think. So oh, by the way, Fears to Fathom, bro. Like that game has scarred me, bro. Fears to Fathom. What the episode 4? I think it was the one where it's in. What was it called? Oh, Ironbark Lookout, bro. Oh hell no. That basically the story goes like, oh, this guy's in a watchtower looking over a forest, and then he finds a cult, you know, murdering people, and they're watching him, and then he gets raided. FNAF Pizzeria, bro. What? What are you talking about, FNAF Pizzeria, bro?
YouTube user Rainy Schuler would upload this video to YouTube in 2013. The video's footage is from multiple security cameras Rainy would set up around his house, which was in an isolated area of the Rocky Mountains.
Oh, what?
The whole idea behind the cameras was to capture the footage of the different wildlife around his property, to then upload to YouTube.
Hell
But
no, bro.
on September 13, the cameras around his house would catch something completely out of the ordinary. You can see as a woman walks out from the complete darkness of the woods.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yep, there's two things I'll never do now. I will never live in the middle of the woods, and two, think I will refrain from getting security cameras. That's the thing that's scary. If you get security cameras, bro, you're gonna expose things you probably will never want to know eventually, and then you'll be scarred for life because if you find that someone's, walking around, even if you're in the suburbs, bro, if you saw someone walking up to your doorstep at 3 a.m., you're automatically gonna be like, oh God, there's people going to my doorstep at 3 a.m. That's creepy. Especially because I'm usually awake at 3 a.m., so that makes it even more creepy. Because you don't know what their intentions are. Do I like chunky, peanut butter, or smooth? What does that have to do with anything? Um, I don't know. Probably smooth. Why would someone stay up at 3 a.m.? What kind of question is that? Why wouldn't you stay up at 3 a.m.? I'm just kidding. But, I mean, why? Yeah, why would someone stay up at 3 a.m.? I mean, there's a variety of reasons. Why would someone wake up at 6 a.m.? There's a variety of reasons. Like, there's plenty of reasons. But, oh, now I forgot what I was gonna say. Dude, I'm screwed. Oh, no, but I think anyone who shows up to your house after the hours of like 1 a.m., it's over, bro. I'm just like instantly creeped out. You stay up 3 a.m. to go jerk. See, that's one reason. I'm not really gonna comment. Oh, by the way, yeah, so when I was younger, like, okay, when I say younger, I mean like when I was like 14, bro. I was 14 or 15, and I remember it was like my first time really getting able to stay up late past like 3 a.m. and I'd go on game, and my God, I was so scared because I was like, dude, the devil is gonna come. Because, back when I was in middle school, this guy named Jay Station, made videos Or basically like, oh, Elmo at 3 a.m. Yeah, I'm sure you know about it, where he like basically just did every challenge in the world at 3 a.m. because that's the devil's hour. And I actually believed in that because I was like, oh my God. So I used to be so scared being awake up at 3 a.m. because I thought something was gonna happen super bad. And every time it happened, and then I realized, wait a second, this is stupid. Because why would we ever, like, why 3 a.m.? Name a reason why 3 a.m. is bad. We can't. It's just alleged stuff. Don't play video games at 3 a.m. Yeah, I will. What? Why? I will if I want to. Usually don't stay up that late anymore, but sometimes I do. You have a loft bed that keeps me away from the bad stuff. I'm still scared of the dark. Yeah, darkness is scary. People say, oh, I'm not scared of the dark. Okay, so you haven't experienced true darkness. Uh, people say dark and darkness, I think of two different things. Dark, it's where I can see things, but it's still like, I can't see things. Like your eyes adjusted probably, or you can somewhat see. Darkness, you literally can't see 1 foot in front of you, at even like 5 inches in front of you. That's scary. I hate going in my room, bro. I hate when it's late at night and I have to go in my room, go sleep, and that first like 30 seconds of being in your room with no lights on, oh my God. It's like pitch black and you're like, bro, there's something trying to kill me. It sounds stupid because, dude, I'm 18, so like, why am I still thinking that? But I still think that, okay? You are not alone, yeah, of course. I used to be convinced that, in the basement, when I used to walk down there, every time I walked down there, I used to be convinced that there was, a monster behind, like, some of the store. We had, like, a storage section of the basement, and I used to be convinced that there was monsters waiting for me, and they were gonna eat me. Or that there was like a guy in there trying. I still sometimes think about it, like, hey, what if there's a guy just hiding in the basement behind like the storage in the storage area? Like, it sounds stupid, but like, it's like, dude, if there was a place to hide, that's the place. 'Cause like, no one's gonna find you, 'cause no one goes there often. There's a monster in your bed. I don't believe in monsters. Okay, I'm more scared of like, there's someone that's watching me, or there's someone who is like nearby in the darkness who sees me but I can't see them. That's what scares me. Also, bro, I swear to God, like about like I'd say like 5 months ago, I swear, I'm at night. I have like shade, like what's it called, shades or something? I don't even know what they're called. Something cover my windows, right? Bedroom windows. But I swear I saw a guy taking a picture. Now, I feel like I was hallucinating because I don't actually believe this, but I swear I saw a flash of a camera um in the middle of the night, and that scared me so hard. But it also could have been lightning, so like I might be delusional, but that scared the hell out of me, bro. Cause I have this really weird delusion that people are staring through my windows, like they climbed up the roof to look through my window just to get a good view on me. Like I don't get why I have that delusion, but I do. It's ridiculous. I think what makes this scary is this like woman is literally just like walking around like nothing matters. Oh yeah, no, she's on some drugs.
Some believe the woman was lost, or that her car had broken down nearby. But that doesn't explain her general careless mannerism as she aimlessly walks around the property. And a while later, the woman can be seen walking right back into the forest.
Dude, no!
After
I can't stand this, bro. You're walking straight into the pitch black. Yep, great. You're dead. I wouldn't be surprised. Nah, but the way she was acting with her head, that looked really suspicious. She's rolling her head around like that's drugs. Not guaranteed, but I'll just guess.
that night, the house owner would never see this woman again.
8 most disturbing dash cam. By the way, this wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. This one, oh yeah. Bro, this is a cheat code, by the way. Because look at all the views this guy's getting. He's getting like, what is this? 8.4 million views. 6.4 million views. 4.3 million views. Like, damn, bro. Um, Imagine moving to the woods to get away from society in the middle of nowhere. A super remote location thinking no one will ever find you, then you get an eviction notice. Yeah, that's what's so weird. Like, I don't get why you give an eviction notice to someone who's literally in the middle of nowhere. Like, yeah, does someone own the... I don't even know how that works. Like, who owns, like, random woods? I just assume the government because it's their land, but, like, are we really gonna just say, oh, well, you're in the middle of nowhere? Eviction notice, like, that just seems so evil and ridiculously wasteful. Like, there's better things to do with the court system than to waste time on getting an eviction on some guy who lives in the middle of nowhere. Like, dude, he's not doing anything wrong. Yeah, I'll like it, I guess. Why would... Okay, hold on. Okay. I was gonna say, why would the like be so slow? Whatever. Alright, let's watch this. Wannabe tough guy punches cop in front of his parents. This is very, 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 very
On March
interesting.
16th, 2023, police were dispatched to a residence after receiving calls about an individual acting in a reckless manner.
So we're already in a mansion. You know, the reason why I mentioned the mansion, by the way, is immediately because I guarantee this guy is spoiled in life and has no clue what it's like to be arrested or punched in the face or be told no. This is near Diddy's mansion. I don't know. Whoa! Okay. Okay. What is going on? Wow. Yeah, okay. This is that I need to rewatch that. What the fuck? Okay. Did bro just spawn in the middle of the house? I'm so confused. Like, why? First off, look how messy it is, bro. There's paper towel or toilet paper. No, that's definitely paper towels. Paper towel rolls in their like actual wrap, like all over the stupid floor. There's shoes in the middle of nowhere. The couch is destroyed, and then this guy just jumped off the. I was like, what the? Whatever.
Hey, stop right now. Stop. Stop. Relax.
He just jumped
John, so you just jump on the banister again.
The way he's breathing looks
What's going on?
suspicious.
Why are you jumping like that? Are you hurt? What's your name? What's your name? I'm Nick.
Let him take over now. I'm not going to say anything.
What's your name?
Yeah, he's on drugs. Okay, I gotta stop saying that because it sounds stupid. But I mean, there's no reason why no normal person, unless he's stupid, like he must be stupid. Feels the demons inside him. Also, he's schizophrenic. Okay, no, I'm just playing. I'm not. I still don't know if every person who hears voices in their head that tell them like do evil things is schizophrenic. But I think most of them are, but I don't know that for sure. So I shouldn't really speak about it because I don't know much. That's just my guess.
What's wrong?
Why is he not speaking? I don't get it.
Why don't you take a seat for me?
And he's breathing heavy.
What's your name? Do you want to talk outside?
Bro's on mute.
What's going on?
What's
Are
the
you
title of this
hurt?
video? Wannabe tough guy? I don't see how he's tough
You
right
not
now.
talking to me is not going to solve anything. We have to figure out what's going on. That's not normal. Do you want to talk to me, or are you just going to stand there?
Bro.
What's his name?
Amish.
Adish?
Amish. A-N-I-S-H.
Okay. Can you not
Oh
step
yeah, no, he's okay. Yeah, no, he's acting tough. Okay, I didn't see it first, but no, the fact he's getting closer, the way he's like positioning, like his posture is basically saying, "Hey, you want to fight?" Like that's how I see it. I need think the dev needs to fix this game is crazy. No, I just thought of something that obviously I wouldn't do this because I'm not trying to be weird, but in theory, would be fun, I guess, if you were stupid. I don't want to give people ideas. Jump off the railing, hang onto the fan. Now, personally, I would never do this because I'm not an idiot. I'm actually like a goody two shoes, as they call them. You know, oh wow, good kid, I guess, supposedly, because I follow the laws. Well, most of the laws. Okay. All right, enough.
Pardon me,
Just.
please. Use backup. Hey, relax.
Oh, yep,
Relax.
he's
I'm
gonna
not
get a
trying to fight you or
charge.
anything, okay? I gotta make sure you're okay.
Oh.
All right. What happened today? Don't do this. Don't do this. It's not worth it. Does he take any medication?
No.
Okay.
He's supposed to, but he never takes it, so no.
We're squaring up with it.
Okay, so he's basically Kanye West. I just had to say it because it sounds exactly like him. Okay, obviously it's not the same, but whatever. Bro's gonna be like, "What is the 12 digits in your car number? What? What are you talking about?" I'm not gonna lie, like, I kind of understand where people come from when they say like, "Oh, I don't want to take medication," because when you get like, when you have a mental illness and you like have to take medication, I could see where people are coming from when they say like, "Well, I don't want to take drugs," because it's like it feels weird. I guess I don't know how to describe it. Like it's like, well, especially if you don't think you have a problem. Like if you don't think you have a problem, like Kanye West, for example, publicly admits like, "Oh yeah, I don't think I have a problem. They're trying to like destroy me with drugs because drugs have side effects first off, and I mean also, it's just like if you're in the frame of mind where nothing's wrong with you, why would you take drugs that could potentially do bad things to you too? You know? Like that's not something most people would agree with. So I can see where this guy might be coming from. Does he listen to Playboy Cardi because there's Playboy on his shirt? I don't know. And by the way, I'm sick of Playboy Cardi. I'm okay. All I'm gonna say is I don't get the hype around him, but I also kind of do because ever since 2023, I kind of started listening to him a little bit more than I like to admit. Not like to his actual music, but his features mainly. I don't know, when he switched his voice to like the deep voice, oh my God, that hit like every like good like I don't know, all my what is it called? I don't even know. Some hormone or maybe it's not a hormone chemical. Oh, dopamine. Okay. Well, yeah, that doesn't even apply, but it sure works. Dopamine gets okay, I see the problem is I have no clue what I was trying to say. I think I was trying to say like, oh yeah, basically when I heard his deep voice, oh my God, bro, I was sent to another world. Now I have hope for him. Like, oh yeah, maybe I understand where people come from. But all his other music, hell no, bro. He's like, dude, get out of here. He'd be like, I can't even replicate, but it's just trash. Alright, whatever.
No, I'm not. He has a body cam.
Yeah.
Not squaring off with you.
Okay. So why are you just acting all quiet and staring me dead in my eyes?
Okay, dude, yeah, no. It's
What
so
happened?
awkward,
Oh,
bro.
what is that? Did something happen today? Okay. Well, we're gonna have the medics talk with you.
Ooh.
Because that obviously wasn't normal, from what I just saw.
Yeah, he jumped 3 times in the space of last half an hour.
Okay.
But,
Are you injured at all? No? Okay.
I would understand if this was a younger kid, but he looks like an adult. If it was a younger kid or a teenager jumping off a balcony, yeah, it's reckless, but dude, it's understandable. Dude, you're probably an adult and he's having fun jumping off a balcony. Like, what? What adult does that? What are you saying beep 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 for,
You
bro?
just jumping to jump?
he hurt his left shoulder thing,
Okay.
doing cartwheeling. I took him to emergency.
Oh my God, he said cartwheeling. That reminds me when I was younger, bro. I used to try somersault like all the time. I could never somersault. Well, I used to actually be able to when I was like 5, but then I stopped, and I never was able to replicate it ever since. Like every time I try somersault, like I'll be almost done, and I'll get stuck in like the right before I get to the end, and I get stuck, and then I just like flip to the side. I don't know why my brain just doesn't know how to roll more forwards, but like it's just stupid. Oh my God. Wait, what's it? Oh yeah, cartwheels? There's no way I'm doing cartwheels, bro. No way. I'm never gonna be able to do it unless I become like an Olympic athlete. I think bro watches too much anime. Who, me? What?
out, he's fine. But
Or him?
that didn't stop him from jumping again. He also jumped outside from the.
Can you
the
just?
deck few times. The deck is like 7-8 feet down. Land is 7-8 feet down.
Okay.
He jumped that and then he started jumping here.
Okay. Do you have anything in your pockets right now? Can you take your hands out of your pockets for a second? Okay. There's nothing in there? Okay. Alright. So, buddy, do you want to go to the hospital? Are you hurt? Here, over here.
Dude, this guy's so weird.
What's his name?
Anish, he's using a.
You don't gotta touch.
You're
Legally,
not
you
keeping
don't
it.
have to touch. I'm in my space.
That's fine. Anish, what's going on, buddy? Do you want to talk somewhere else?
Got nothing to say.
Okay. Alright. We're gonna ask that you just talk to the paramedics to make sure that you're okay. It sounds like you got a fall. That's what we're concerned about. Is that something you're okay doing?
I just didn't.
Okay. Do you want to talk to them and not the police?
I don't want to talk to anyone.
Okay. Can you do this for me then? Can you just sit on the step?
I can stand here.
I will bring a paramedic in.
I'm standing here.
We're not going to do this with you standing up like this. You want to?
I'm
You want to?
standing.
You're taking a very aggressive posture.
I'm not touching anyone. So
I'm not
legally,
saying.
I'm in my
I'm
right
not
to stand.
saying that you. It is.
I think the worst part of this is that the parents are watching this happen and not correcting him. Because he's talking to a police in disrespectful tone, which I know, wow, how lame to say that, but like, dude, I don't care who you are, you should never disrespect the police unless they are completely just like, oh, well, unless they're like absolutely doing something illegal, and well, even then that's questionable because it's like, dude, do you want to get extra charges? No. Do you want to escalate a situation? No. Police are the #1 people you do not want to escalate in any situation besides like maybe a jury that's deciding your fate. Or not, I mean, sorry, a judge is deciding your sentencing. You definitely don't want to anger them either, but like those two people are the #1 like two people you should never escalate ever. It's I feel like that's like if you're a good parent, you would just immediately try to jump in and be like, "Hey, don't do this." At the same time, they're kind of like they let this happen. Like, I don't know. You would imagine that if you jumped off like a balcony multiple times to the point where the parents had to call the police, they would also attempt to like stop him or like do something to change his mind or something. I don't know. I'm not a parent of an 18-year-old or well, adult basically, so I can't really say what I would do in that situation. If you put an attitude of the police, and they'll put that up to court. I'm sure. I don't know.
Fire department comes in here, you have a conversation with them, and they leave. But they are not going to do it with you doing this right now. Okay? So this is just going to take a heck of a lot longer. So all I'm asking you to do is just sit on that stuff. I will have your parents walk into the other room. I don't care whatever is the most comfortable for you, but I need to have them come in here, talk to you real quick, and then you can figure out what you want to do from there. You are not a criminal. You didn't do anything wrong. You're not under arrest. Okay? You just want to make sure that you're okay, not hurt. You want to go to the hospital? Tell them that.
You guys got it?
And we'll get out of here. Okay? I'm just going to sit here and ask you questions until you answer them. So I don't care if it takes an hour. I don't care if it takes 2 hours. The parents are concerned. The paramedics are here.
Bro, okay, I just had to say this. There's a dumb dog panting in the background this whole time, and it bothers me so much. Dude, dogs panting, bro, is like my #1, like, oh my god, my ears are disgusted. Ugh. I absolutely hate dogs panting with a passion, bro. Like, it's ridiculous. Um, So the fact that I have to deal with this the whole video is actually pissing me off so much, and it's disgusting. That canine? That's not even a canine. I don't think that's a canine, bro. You haven't paid taxes since year one. Okay, so you're basically telling me you never worked. Okay. Or are you telling me you just illegally, like, did not... You just decided not to pay your taxes, but you still worked, which, by the way, is illegal and probably not the best intelligent move, mainly because eventually they'll figure out. I mean, sure, they won't. By the way, well, I don't know. I would like to believe they'd figure out eventually, but who really knows? I think the IRS, I think IRS is pretty good with keeping up with people's taxes. Want to understand, but I don't know because I haven't dealt with that problem yet. Don't plan on not paying my taxes on time. I'm just going to announce that to the world so the IRS does not immediately assume that, oh, you plan to not pay your taxes. I do.
4 police officers here. We are not going anywhere.
Dude, oh my god, the dog panting. Oh my god. Alright, just focus.
It's not safe for your parents. Tell me how you would like to do this.
They're all waiting outside for you. But from what I saw when I first walked in and you jumping, that's not normal. You could really hurt yourself. And what's to say that you're not going to do something more when we leave? So therefore, we're obligated to make sure that you get the right attention. We can't just get up and leave, okay? We got to make sure you're okay. So we can either step outside, or you can sit down and...
Yeah, he's looking like, the way he's looking up at the man, he's definitely like, yeah, there's something going. You can barely hear the dog panting. That's probably better because, frankly, to be fair, the audio for my headphones are a lot louder than what you probably hear on the stream. That's probably why.
You can call the shots, but we just need to find a route to go down so we can help you. That's it. Nobody's in trouble or anything. The fact that you keep moving and shuffling towards me like you're about to like swing on me or something is disturbing.
Dude, it's breathing so loud. Okay, yeah, no, it's disturbing me, bro. I hate this because, like, I know people are gonna get angry. Oh my god, bro, your actions ruined by you talking about a dog, bro. Oh my god, like, it bothers me so much. Why is there a baby gate? Because there's a dog on the other side.
I see what you're doing. You're trying to get into some type of position to try and flank me or whatever you're trying to do.
Trying to flank?
And we're not gonna go down this route.
What?
Okay? Or you're
Bro,
gonna
okay, yeah, this guy's weird too. Flank is not a word I would use in this situation. Bro is saying he's getting flanked when there's 5 cops in a room surrounding him. Like, dude, if the guy flanks you, you suck. Because, like, dude, you literally, there's one person. All you have to do is turn your feet in the direction of him. Like, what?
Run. You're not going anywhere right now, okay? You're being detained for your own safety and for your parents' safety. So stop trying to walk up on me, stay all quiet, and act like you're gonna try and hurt me or whatever you're trying to do or be intimidating. Because I'm not going anywhere. I'm not scared of you, okay? So you can either talk to Sergeant Jump here, or me, Officer Nelson, or you can talk to the fire department. We're not leaving.
Fire department?
Okay.
Yeah, he's just being ridiculous.
Stay right there. Stop moving like that.
Where are the parents, though? They just left?
I'm going to put you in handcuffs if you keep doing it.
Dude, what is he doing? Bro talks about how he doesn't want people to intrude his personal space and then goes into other people's personal spaces. Like, the logic doesn't make sense. Those type of people make no sense. Because if you really think about it, like, dude, you're just making it so that, oh, wow, this guy's too close for my comfort. Like, what?
I'm going to tell you this much. I will place you under arrest for assault. Okay? We have every reason to believe that we are in fear of physical contact with you with what you're doing. You're balling your hand like you're ready to punch someone. You're coming within inches of other people.
Not worth it.
So do not push this into a criminal matter, because you will be arrested and taken to jail.
Hey, don't step on it.
I didn't step on it. I'm not ignorant. I wouldn't do that.
My God, that dog is so annoying. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, I did not expect that. Well, okay, of course, bro. I pressed the wrong button. Oh my God. I have no clue where I was.
Hey, don't step on it.
I didn't step on it. I'm not ignorant. I wouldn't do that. Hey.
Damn, bro. Okay, yeah, no, this guy definitely, by the way, I should say this is why. Never mind.
Stop resisting! You're under arrest. You are under arrest, buddy. I gotta speak.
Get in the head position.
Hands! Hands now!
I got this hand. All right, stop fighting. Just relax, okay?
That wasn't smart.
Dude, that punch, by the way, he like put like so much effort into that punch. He went like full, like swing as far back as he can. Kind of, but it wasn't really like a punch like a jab, you know? It's more like a swing. Actually, wait, no, let me look. Yeah, I mean, that was more of a swing, like I don't know how to describe it, but whatever. His dog is a skinwalker and is making the voices in his head. Okay, bro, I don't know what to say to
My
that.
kid does worse to me.
John, you marked one in custody.
All right. Let's just double check the cuffs.
What's that?
All right.
Not smart, dude.
Can you breathe?
He's not gonna speak.
Tuck your knees in. Go that way. Okay. Are we going to the hospital or are we going to jail?
I feel jail would probably be good, seeing that you just punched me in the face. Maybe a good thing for you to be quiet right now.
Yeah, you'll go to jail after the hospital. Doesn't matter. We're going to jail.
I'm going to jail.
Okay, you don't want to go to the hospital. All right, sounds good. We'll just have you sign a release. You don't want to go.
Can't wait to see these new body cameras we got. Can't wait to watch that one.
Right.
This will be the first time we can really...
That's enough.
Yeah, he keeps trying to grab me really hard. You're being polite, but he's not. You know what I'm saying?
He's been polite this entire time.
Bro.
Yeah, notice how he grabs it?
Would you knock it off? Knock it.
Imagine bro in court or prison. Yeah, he'd get beat up. The thing is, he's trying to act tough and all, but like, dude, if he ran to a real person, bro, who actually like could punch, like, dude, he would be like shitting his pants.
Off. Now he's trying to trip me. Stop it. Get in the car and we can be done. Got it?
Got it.
By the way, the reason why I know that he's probably not in the mentally the right headspace is because, oh god damn it, I don't remember what I was gonna say. Oh my god. Oh yeah, because like, if you're punching someone over that, over something stupid like that, and you decide not to talk, you're definitely like got a mental problem. So very clearly, he actually needed the drugs. Like, it's just, yeah, that's obvious. Where are his parents? Who knows?
Feet first.
I just know if I was in that situation, my parents would have already put an end to this a long time ago by forcing me to take the medication. And if I didn't, I probably would be in a whole heap of trouble if I was in this situation. So I feel like the parents are largely at fault for this situation, personally, as per usual when it comes to a lot of situations like this.
Hey, dude, I'm all good. I just had to walk him off a little. Yeah.
Just, you need to sign it.
Okay.
Sorry. Are you okay? Are you good?
The suspect was
All right,
charged with
let's see.
aggravated assault on an officer and multiple counts of resisting arrest. Drop a comment below and subscribe to the channel for more videos.
Entitled student gets a lesson she won't forget, bro. That is I feel like this is like trying to get you clicking, cause like, do you see where my mouse is? Like, bro, like, dude, it's basically out in the open almost. Like, dude, get out of here. That thumbnail's diabolical. It kind of looks photoshopped. It doesn't matter. That's a pretty strong opening for a arrest video. What does that even mean? This showed plenty of promise with the opening scene. It was followed with lots of good stuff. Parents sitting around and saying nothing, offering almost no insight to what's going on. A building tension with crazy silence and shuffling position. The eventual climax, the closings, 9.5 out of 10. I mean, yeah, if this was a story, by the way, if this arrest was a story, written to a story, it'd actually be a really good book because if you think about it, it follows all the exact things that would make a good story. It has the rising action, it has the climax, it has the resolution, it has the falling action or whatever. Like, what? Now that I think about it, dude, if I was writing a book, I'd probably pick this as my book because you could literally just, like, give so much details about he's balling his fist so angrily and he stares daggers into the police officer. Like, dude, that would be great. So if I have to write an essay about, I don't know, narrative, like, well, fictional narrative, which, by the way, that's something I need to talk about, bro. Why is it that almost every single essay you ever write in school is always about something that's not narrative? And when I say narrative, I mean fictional narrative. You can't write like a, hey, this is my fictional story I made up. No, it never happens. It's always, oh, well, you can free write. No, I want to turn in like a cool little story, not a stupid like essay research paper I don't care about. Like, oh my God. Give me a prompt for an example so I can relate. What does that even mean? I don't know, like write a story, a short story about anything you want. Like that would be cool. Or write a fictional story with like 5 characters that follows the basic outlines of writing a story. Boom, like I think that'd be so cool. And this is why people say, by the way, when they say like school is like ruins creativity. That's one of the things. Like imagine how much kids would get into writing if they were able to write their own story once a year, right? To turn in for a grade. Like yeah, there would be people who hate it, but like dude, that would inspire people to actually like go, "Hey, I actually like writing." And then they get good at it. Like instead of writing the same old, oh, here's a basic little essay about analyzing a book, or oh, here's an essay analyzing my opinion on something, or I don't know, here's an essay doing research topics. Boring, bro. I don't care. I don't know. It's completely irrelevant. Ooh, wow, this is good. I'm gonna put this to save watch. Child pet gets caught in front of his parents. I almost want to watch that, but we'll save watch later. Just time to add a bunch of them my watch later, bro. That's my problem, bro. I literally cleared, dude, this was at like 350, I believe. This was at 350 in my watch later, probably about a week or two ago. So I've cleaned it up a lot, and I'm still adding on like an idiot, bro. That's the problem with watch later. My watch later playlist is so cooked, it's ridiculous. I think the problem with it is I use it as like a thing of like, hey, this video looks interesting. I don't really feel like watching a video right now. I'm gonna put in my watch later, and I never watch it. Because by the time I do find it, which is like 2 years later, I'm not interested in that video ever. Like, that's the problem. Alright, whatever. I kinda wanna watch this. What makes a great double boss fight? I'm very interested when this. I don't know. Yeah, we'll make this light. I'm gonna say this. What makes a great double boss fight is this is the reason why I want to watch this video is because it's very prevalent. Because I just beat Dark Souls 1, and there's some bosses in there that I really, really think double boss fights that stand out in a bad way. Actually, all of them that are in the game stand out in a bad way. I just want to hear what, because I'm curious. I've always found that double boss fights in a game are just feces. Like 99% of the times there's a double boss fight, it's usually just ends up being super frustrating and incredibly annoying. And when it does work out, it's like I forget that it's a double boss fight. I just accept, oh, yeah, it's just a boss. That's so rare. The only times that I feel like that works is in Hollow Knight. That's the only game I've played where I think a double boss fight's actually been like, hey, this feels like a boss fight, not actually just like some abomination of two men who are not even synced up together who just decide to attack randomly and have no like what's the word chemistry together. They just happen to be in the same room. Like that's what it feels like with especially from FromSoft. Of course, Hollow Knight. He's gonna put Hollow Knight there.
What's better than 0 bosses? 1 boss. What's better than 1 boss? 2 bosses. Games love to throw 2 bosses at you at once. If you do it right, a double
Oh my god, right there, man. This is the boss that I hate with a passion because they don't necessarily these bosses don't necessarily like have problems necessarily because technically it's obviously possible, but a lot of the times it does not feel possible because of this, not the fat guy, but the other guy, the Dragon Slayer. Oh my god, the Dragon Slayer is so frustrating. I think the problem with Dragon Slayer in this boss fight is he can just magically like run full speed towards you while you're fighting the other guy. So you have to hyper focus on him, but if you hyper focus on him, he just like you just get smashed by the stupid little big fat guy. It's just such a nightmare. Cuphead with 2 frogs feel well incorporated. Oh, that's a good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
boss fight can be an easy way to ramp up the challenge, reuse game assets, and build up some pre-fight hype all at once. But you can't just jam 2 bosses together and expect it all to work.
What game
Double
is
bosses
this?
have to be crafted so they fit together. Otherwise, you're gonna get a chaotic mess. Do it right though, and you've got an instant classic fight that'll stick with a player after the game is over.
Oh my god, I forgot the twins from Terraria, by the way. That's a definitely a double boss fight. I just realized. And to be honest, they work really well. Well, not always, but 99% of the times they work well. It works well. The times it doesn't work well is usually because of just where you're placed as a character. Like, I don't know. I mean, no, actually, no. Oh, I stand correct. No, the twins in Terraria doesn't always work because sometimes they'll just like you'll be like moving and one of them decides to split off or be slow, and then they just randomly just despawn and it ruins the fight because, you know, once one despawns, then the other one despawns usually. You fight the green one first and the red one. Well, yeah, duh. But it's still a 2 boss fight, right? Like a double boss fight.
Today, let's figure out how to choreograph the dance that is the double boss fight. You might have your own double wandering around, and not the fun kind, the identity theft kind. To defeat that boss, party up with today's sponsor, Aura. You have a ton of
What
calls
is
to
even
fix it.
Aura? Wait.
$1 billion data breaches, unauthorized purchases. Aura is the one-stop shop that keeps track of all of that inside an easy-to-use, untouched credit freezing your computer safe, or others of mine that I have.
I'm suspicious. I'm suspicious that there's this many features of Aura, but I don't know. Skip this shit? Well, obviously I'm gonna skip it, bro. I usually don't watch things, promotions.
File for Design Doc viewers. Get a handle on your data security by signing up to a free trial. Thanks, Aura. If one thing good, then 2 thing more good. And that's not wrong. Not entirely anyway. 2 things sometimes is more good. Double bosses can be extra memorable. They can be hype factories, built from an unexpected team up that you get to play your way through. Or they can be a place to bring characters back, building a new challenge from a combination.
Oh my god, yeah. No, FromSoft games, I feel, Just looking at this makes me angry. Like, I feel FromSoft games are the number one. They make the most games where the double boss fights are always the worst. They stand out as the worst in almost every single case. Not always, but a lot of times they do. Especially Sekiro. Like, looking at this, it's like, dude, this boss is significantly harder than this boss. Like, this is a boss by itself. I remember because I fought him. I remember fighting this guy by himself. This is just a random soldier that happens to be in there, and frankly, it's not that hard, obviously. I imagine it's not that hard. I don't know if I fought this or ever. But I think the thing that makes it frustrating is like, dude, if this is a boss by itself, why the hell do we add more stuff to it when there was already a version of it that exists in the game that's by itself? You're just making it harder for no reason, and it's obvious that they did not intend for that to be the feature. Like, I just don't get it.
Nation of old elements. Double bosses can create interplay in ways that a single boss would have a tough time doing. They can make a player choose their path on the fly, where how the fight plays out is a direct result of the decisions made. Double bosses can be more than just two bosses fighting at the same time, but along with the opportunities for a unique fight, pairs of bosses are prone to unique problems to avoid that depend on what type of fight a game is aiming to make. Let's start real basic. What's the cheapest, easiest, fastest way you can think of to make a double boss? We've got this one standing right here. What if two? Just fight two copies of the same boss at once. That seems easy.
I don't think I've ever seen
Hollow
that.
Knight clones a couple bosses very well,
never mind.
like the Mantis Lords. After fighting your way through a tribe of deadly Mantis warriors, you get the challenge to their leader, Zzz, a trio of Mantis sisters.
Yeah, people love this boss fight so much. They meat right it. And I get why. But to be honest, I don't think it's the best boss fight in the game. But I do think it's great. I do love it. But like, dude, the meat riding kind of goes crazy, bro. I have not seen this much meat riding in anything besides like the people who meat ride Kendrick Lamar. Like, yeah, it's a controversial sentence, kind of, but whatever.
Yes, this is still a double boss. The fight.
Why are you asking what's my favorite holiday in the middle of a video where I'm talking about? Okay, whatever. I don't know. It has nothing to do with anything. But I would say Christmas. I don't know. I don't care from 99% of holidays are irrelevant to me or not really that exciting.
It's broken up into two phases. The first has you fight the middle sister, who teleports around the arena and swipes at you with her lance, drops on you from above, or tosses a boomerang at you from the wall. The timing's a little tricky, but it's a pretty straightforward fight. Just dodge and hit. Once she yields and retreats, the two remaining sisters step in for a 2-on-1 matchup. Hope you learned that first phase well, because now we're doubling up on everything. Both sisters have the same moveset, but the fight now has a different rhythm, and you have to rethink your positioning.
Yeah, it's
and
pretty fun.
constantly
It's
be on your
fast-paced in
toes.
a good way,
You'll
by the
deal with
way.
two vertical drops, one after the other. They'll pincer you with both the dash attack and the boomerang projectile. One might dash while the other drops soon after. They each might dash in quick succession, or the second one might delay a bit to throw you off. They're the same bosses, but the changing patterns make the fight completely different. And if you want even more of a challenge, there's an optional rematch in the DLC where you can fight all three sisters at once. Good luck. Hollow Knight's Godmaster DLC.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. This boss fight right here, I've hated this boss fight so much. I suck at it. But I have to admit it's pretty fair. This Hollow Knight does something interesting. They actually like somehow managed to make, well, most of the multi-boss fights actually balanced besides the I don't even remember, the Watcher Knights, I think they're called. Like those are kind of Wait, does this video list double bosses are actually good, or is there more than that? I have no idea. I'd imagine they probably go over bad ones.
Has an even better double boss. The Nailmaster brothers, Oro and Mato. Like the Mantis Lords, the first phase is a one-on-one fight with just Oro that lets you get a handle on his basic moveset.
Oh, I see what they're doing. Okay, this actually makes sense. You know why these boss fights are so good in Hollow Knight? Because they don't just spend the whole boss fight with two of them at once. They actually implement it in a second phase. It's like learning, and they do it in a good way where it's like, hey, I learned the moveset of this boss. Now we're gonna have two of them or multiple of them fighting you with the same moveset. So basically, you already mastered the moveset. Now it's just a matter of your timing with everything going on. That's why it works so well because not a lot of the games that, again, From Software, I'm looking at you, you know, you tend to make games that just throw two bosses together instantly, and it's ridiculous. If bosses have faces, then it's good. Yeah, I agree.
The second phase brings in Mato, where again, the changing pattern over a repeated moveset makes the fight work.
Okay,
Unlike the Mantis Lords,
this guy's playing like me, bro. At this boss fight, I suck at it.
each brother
Like,
has a unique
I get
signature
hit all the
move,
time.
a dashing slash, and a cyclone spin. Careful positioning is even more important here, as it influences their attack patterns. If you're on one side, they'll alternate between attacking and backing off as the other
Why? Oh
follows.
wait, by the way, if you have any knowledge of Hollow Knight, why is he running? I think that's the hero's charm. Ooh, is it? I think that's.
Up. If you're caught in between,
Or is
they'll
it the one that gives the poop? I don't know.
coordinate
Look,
their slashes
either
to
way, it's
injure you.
bad.
The fight is much more demanding than the Mantis Lords, as you search for brief openings to attack without leaving yourself open for the counter. The two-phase structure is a smart way to get players up to speed on a challenging fight, while the way each pair coordinates their attacks prevent unwinnable situations, and make for a new memorable fight from Ryu.
Are you able to revisit previous bosses in the game? What game? Hollow Knight? Yeah, you can. At any point. I think that's another thing that needs to be talked about, dude. If a game has a lot of bosses in them, I think you should be able to revisit them whenever you want. Dude, Sekiro, bro, like, that hits the spot, because that game is, like, the only reason why I love it is because of the boss fights, mainly. Don't get me wrong, the world's fine, but, like, dude, every once in a while, you just gotta open up the game and revisit your favorite boss fights and leave. That's all you need to do. And the fact you can at any point in the game, like any save like totem area, bro, you could just do that. I think that's brilliant. Like that's great. It just makes replayability that much easier because frankly, a lot of games I would not want to replay the entire game just to get to the final boss. That would be frustrating. Like sometimes I don't want to replay the entire game, you know?
Use components. Of course,
Bro, what
there's
is
only
this
so
game?
much you can do by cloning a boss. It's not all that creative. Oromato even tried to get around it by being ever so slightly different, because a full-on clone would introduce some problems. Two copies of the exact same thing don't necessarily work together all that well. At worst, a clone double boss can feel like really obvious filler. The original Batman Arkham Asylum famously dropped the ball with its bosses. Over half of them involved this roided-up Titan henchman.
Oh my god, yes. So I just beat this game like recently, like a month ago. I 100% in this game. And my god, the boss fights are low-key kind of trash in this game. Dude, but like basically what they do is they just throw like a really overpowered like beast at you, and then he would just like try to ram you and like do basic attacks that are easy to avoid, and then they just throw in 10,000 basic henchmen in there, and then suddenly it's just a really frustrating thing. Like this guy right here will be the main like guy, and then he's not that hard by himself, but then oh, let's add a second one, and then let's throw in 20 henchmen. Oh my god, the amount of times I rage so hard because it's like what? And then the worst part of the game for me was when they threw in two of these guys, I think. No, it was one of these guys maybe. And then they threw in like 20 henchmen, and then they threw in more and more and more until you just beat the big guy. Oh my god, so frustrating. Oh my god. Because the amount of deaths you have. Because, dude, when you have 20 henchmen in close, in like a tight space with a big fat guy who's really overpowered in the same room, it's ridiculous. Like, I hate that so much.
Maybe with a different...
Was he the hardest boss in the game? I'd say the hardest boss in the game. Oh, yeah, this. Ooh, wait, this is also hard. Oh, I mean, I don't consider them bosses. I don't consider these guys bosses. These are more just like enemies because they throw them around too much. I'd say the hardest boss was probably, ooh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea, to be honest. Probably like Poison Ivy, but like, I don't know.
outfit. Or maybe it's Bane. Either
No.
way, the
Oh,
fights
yeah.
are the same.
Yeah.
From the first one to the fifth. Both the third boss and the semi-final boss throw two of them at you. It's not
Yeah.
much harder to deal with two at once though. Maybe you pick your opportunities a little more carefully, but it's mostly the same. And considering there's like a half dozen of these guys, you're pretty...
You know what I just realized? I never. Okay. If you know about this game, you should know, like, if you've played Arkham Asylum or Arkham City or anything, you should know that you could, like, stun the big guys, the Titan guys. I just realized in Arkham Asylum you can actually stun them. I just now. So this whole time, bro, I've been throwing batterings that do, like, 1 damage per hit and then waiting for them to ram to a wall and then attacking them. when in reality you could just stun them, and that's crazy because I thought only Arkham City allowed that.
Good at getting rid of these Titan
Whatever.
henchmen by now. Clone bosses are not something you can drop in as a placeholder and expect to get much fun for free. Okay, so maybe cloning a boss isn't what you're looking for. What's the next easiest thing to do? What if we just reuse 2 different bosses? That'll fix it, right? Well, it'll fix some things. Recycling bosses into a 2-on-1 fight tends to work better with simpler bosses with recognizable patterns. They can fit in classic beat-em-ups like Streets of Rage 4.
Wait, what boss in Cuphead does that? I forgot. I know there's the frog one, but there's another one, right? I feel like there's another boss fight where it's like... Oh, I'm thinking of the... Okay, never mind. It doesn't really apply. It kind of does. I think? Not really.
Or pretty well. Multiple bosses with distinct behaviors that mix and match can make a fight much harder and much more interesting. Streets of Rage 4 has a few stages where you're fighting cops. The boss at the end of stage 2 is the Commissioner, a jacked up version of Commissioner Gordon with some heavy overhead punches.
Commissioner Gordon? What is this game? I've never heard of this game.
Super armor on most moves, and a dash and grab that's tough to dodge. In stage 4, you deal with Special Forces officer Estelle, who has a ton of flippy kicks to avoid, and sometimes calls in artillery support. Each boss is challenging on their own,
That
but
game
you
actually
get to
looks
know
kinda
their
fun.
patterns and take care of them before too long. Stage 7 ups the stakes. On top of this moving train, Estelle returns and has figured out how to smuggle some hand grenades on board. She's calling in backup again.
What bosses in each game you feel like they were actually the final boss? To me, it's the dice from Cuphead or something else. Oh, the main games I guess that's a good question, actually. For Elden Ring, the final boss for me was Melania, undoubtedly. That was, like, the hardest boss of the game. It felt like it was the final challenge. Then, Sekiro, I would definitely agree with the whole, what's his name? The final boss for that, which was the final boss, would be, in my opinion, what is it called? Ishin the Sword Saint? Yep, that's obvious. Then you got, Dark Souls 1? Dark Souls 1, I don't know. I don't really know. It's hard to say with Dark Souls 1 because all the bosses were either really difficult or too easy. It really was dependent on just how good you were at the, like, not even good, just how, like, OP your character was. So I can't really say for that game. Cuphead, yeah, no, by the way, yeah, King Dice, whatever his name is, yeah, that guy was definitely the hardest boss. Or it would be between that or the robot, but the robot, yeah. The Radiance from Hollow Knight, absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. The ultimate, I think it was called, Absolute Radiance. Yeah, beating that was so hard, bro. That took me, like, I spent like a week, every single day for that week. I just practiced that boss, and I only beat it like 7 times. And then I went to do the final Pantheon of Hollow Knight because I was just like, dude, I'm sick of practicing the same boss. And I beat it like, like twice in a row at that point. So I was just like, you know what? I'm probably not going to beat it, but I'm going to try it anyways. And then I beat it. And I was like, oh my god, I beat the final Pantheon. That was crazy. That's my biggest accomplishment of all of gaming, beating that Pantheon. Like, dude, that's like the hardest thing I've ever done. Because it's every single boss back to back to back to back to back in the entire game. And yes, a lot of the bosses are easy, but there's some brutal bosses, especially at the end. And then plus you have, obviously, Absolute Radiance, which is just not even a thing to... Oh, dude, that's one of the hardest bosses I've ever taken on. My hands were sweating, like, profusely. Anyways, what other... Oh, and then Elden Ring DLC too. Yeah, dude, Radahn. Oh my god, Radahn was crazy. That is, honestly, Radahn is, like, probably the... And I'd say the best final bosses I've ever come across, or, like, as final bosses, is like, hey, this is the final test. Radahn is definitely in that list. I don't like him as a fight necessarily, but I do think he's like an ultimate test for a final boss. It makes sense. And then, of course, Ishin the Sword Saint. That's forever my favorite boss of all time. That will forever be my favorite boss.
Again, watch out for the... Oh god, it's the Commissioner. Now, it'd be a little overwhelming if both bosses played identically to their original versions. The Commissioner is toned down a little. No super armor this time, and fewer
I have
different
no
kinds
idea
of
what this game
moves.
is, though.
Estelle acts a little more defensively.
Why is
preferring
Commissioner
to keep her
Gordon
distance while the
in-
Commissioner tries to bash you into
I don't
submission.
believe it's Commissioner Gordon's in here, by the way. I
Even
don't-
with the toned down movesets, paying attention to the attack patterns of both at once makes the fight exponentially tougher. That moveset change is crucial. The moves of two separate pre-established bosses often don't combine very well, and you're likely going to have to combine them
This
some.
is what I hated about Elden Ring, by the way. This. Like, okay, let me show you. See this little idiot, like, soldier, bro? The misbegotten warrior? That's not even a boss. That's just, like, an enemy that they just throw into a random room. That's what I hated. Like, a lot of these, like, dungeon areas with bosses at the end, or, you know, areas with, like, mini-bosses, right? They just felt so lazy because a lot of the times it was just like, oh, this is just a random enemy that we jacked up slightly. Or, oh, this is just a boss that you've seen 10,000 times already. The amount of time, there was like this certain boss, oh, I forgot what they're called, but it looked like an ants kind of, dude, it kept getting reused all the time. Like, it was reused, like, and I didn't even beat like, I never actually explored every single location, obviously. But I remember seeing it at least 6 times, which is ridiculous. One boss in 6 different areas is diabolical. I'm not saying this game is horrible for that, but it's also like, dude, it's kind of unnecessary. Like, it just felt like it was just throwing things in places just because they needed something. How many bosses are in Elden Ring that actually feel like bosses? Like, isn't there 118 bosses? I have no idea. I'd say really there's probably like 30, 40 bosses that actually feel like bosses. Again, I haven't beat like every single boss in the game. I did most of the major ones. Actually, I did all the major ones because I've 100% in the game and I got all the achievements. So I've done the ones that they felt was necessary, but there's probably a couple bosses I probably missed because the game is just so massive and there's so much things to do. And yes, I just said massive. Why is my brain cooked? Every time I say massive, low taper fade! Like, dude, get out of my mind. It's ridiculous, but yeah, I don't know, whatever.
Bosses often don't combine very well, and you're likely going to have to combine them somehow. If you try to sidestep the issue by doing something you think is clever, that might look like the Boom Boom and Pom Pom fight in Super Mario 3D Land. There are only 3 distinct bosses in the game: Bowser, Boom Boom, and Pom Pom. Each individual one is reused a lot over the game's 16 worlds, with some
Dude, this
arena
game actually
design
might
tweaks
be
to help keep the
fun.
repeated fights from being exactly the same. Sometimes, though, they try to
3D
spice things
Mario?
up by
That
making
looks
you fight
fun.
2 of them at once in the same room. Kinda. Unless you're looking closely. The bosses themselves are really simple. Boom Boom spins at you with his head exposed, which you jump on because Mario, and he ricochets around for a bit.
That is literally the definition of him in literally Super Mario Wii U edition, bro. And also the other one. Dude, every Mario I've played has those checkpoint, like the Super Mario Bros. I've played. They've always have those checkpoint castles, and every time they reuse the same little boss fight, and it's always super easy. It's ridiculous, and it's kind of stupid. What's SM64? Super Smash 64? I don't
Repeat
know.
3 times, also because Mario. Pom Pom is pretty similar, but she throws a boomerang at you and moves a little differently in her invulnerable
I'm
shell
not gonna lie, that
phase.
kind of looks hard.
Very
No,
simple.
it doesn't.
Combine them though, and it gets a little trickier. Or it would, but despite them being in the same arena, the 2 of them are still separated. The room is split between a low and a high floor.
Why would
and
they
each
do that?
boss stays
That's
at only one
not-
level throughout the fight. The 2 fights feel independent from one another, even when they're in the same room.
Yeah, that's so weird. Why would you do that? Because think about it, like, it's like literally stupid because the bottom guy is literally irrelevant. Like, you literally could just go and play the game without even attacking him until you beat the first boss on the top. Like, or the opposite too. Stupid.
Which undercuts a lot of opportunities the design of the encounter could have for interacting and overlapping attack patterns to add to the challenge or just make the strategies a little less basic. Despite being added together, the fight's just as simple as before. Other boss combos can be way too chaotic. In the Mega Man X Legacy Collection, they added an extra mode called the X Challenge. Here, you fight pairs of pre-existing Maverick bosses from different Mega Man X games with a selected arsenal of special weapons. You want to fight Chill Penguin and Frost Walrus at the same time for some reason? Now you can. Most Mega Man boss fights are designed in isolation,
never played
with
this
the
game.
attack patterns, weaknesses, AI behaviors, and sometimes the arena itself designed.
Honestly, this game's kind of giving me Terraria vibes, which sounds stupid because it probably was made before Terraria, so I shouldn't say that. That's like saying, hey, this game is in a city, so it's GTA. Like, no, it's not how that works. I will admit. Oh,
With
Super
just
Mario 64, by the way. I've never played Super Mario 64.
that one boss in mind. The X challenge lets you not take any of that into consideration. It just throws both bosses at you at once and calls it a day. Attacks are a nightmare to dodge, as there's no rhythm to most of the possible fights. The screen immediately becomes a cluttered mess. Even the background color palette makes some of the bosses hard to see.
Oh my god, I just remembered. Oh my god. What are they called? Calamity. Terraria Calamity. The Exomex, I think they're called. Yeah. That is the definition of a boss fight, multi-boss fight with multiple bosses at once. Done. I actually can't say that's done well, because it is done pretty decently, because it's obviously playable, and it's not like but a lot of times it just feels like there's 10,000 projectiles happening at once, and most of the fight is you just flying around up, down, or going to the side as fast as you can. And is that really considered good gameplay when you basically just have to fly or move as fast as you can to the side to avoid any, like, 10,000 projectiles? I don't think that is. Not gonna lie, if you remember, Terraria Calamity X-Max was the worst definition of duo bosses. I wouldn't say the worst. I think that FromSoft has worse. But, like, I think of Sekiro mainly. That is worse, but, it's still pretty bad. Like, it's not great because it's literally just like you have to just run away from the fights to avoid everything, which is kind of bad.
When you combine two existing bosses, they're usually either very simple in design or altered to make the fight more digestible
What game
and
is
playable.
this?
Without any customization, or at least careful selection of the bosses chosen, a double boss fight can feel like a bad ROM hack or a mod done wrong. Double bosses can do more for a game than just be a fun fight. In the right circumstances, having a couple of old bosses combine forces can become a hype factory, and long-running series have lots of material to work with. Yakuza is filled to the brim with beloved criminals, and near the top of the list is Majima. Yakuza 4 establishes more of his past with his brother-in-arms, Sajima. Over that,
I've met people who've like completely loved like Meat Ride Yakuza series, whatever it's called. Should I actually like buy it? I don't even know how expensive it is, but should I like try it out? Because people love this game. Oh, the obvious answer is probably yes, but imagine if they colluded Terraria, that'd be ironic. I mean, maybe they would. I don't know what games I hope they talk about Elden Ring or Dark Souls more, because that's something that I think needs to be talked about, because they both have bad double boss fights.
game. You watch these two tragically fall out and slowly reunite through crime drama shenanigans and shirtless fights. By the end
Shirtless
of the
fights.
character arcs, these two
What?
become a strong dynamic duo. In Yakuza Like a Dragon, the series goes through a soft reboot with the gameplay and cast. Most of the past characters in the series were set aside for new characters. Sometimes, though, the game dusts off some fan favorites, like Majima. He's back, and you're fighting him. And halfway through the fight, oh my god, it's Sajima. Look at what they're doing. It doesn't hurt either that the fight's very good. The Majima fight goes from a fun callback
Oh, what is
to a
this
double
game, bro,
fun,
though? It
double
looks so
callback
weird.
fight, and works as a great hype moment for longtime fans.
Okay, yeah, no, this game is ridiculous. I'm sorry. What? That's
Okay,
over the top.
so there are plenty of advantages to reusing bosses in a double boss fight, but there's something limiting about it. It's
This reminds me, the Mario gameplay, by the way, reminds me of when I was a young kid and I fought Bowser in Super Mario Bros. I don't even know, Wii Edition or something. I have no idea which one it was. I think it was Wii. I could pull up the thing. Super Mario Bros. Wii. Oh, yeah, it's right here. Yeah. Dude, Wii, by the way, the Wii is classic, dude. There's so many great games on there. Like, I still play Mario Kart Wii, oh my god, that's like one of the greatest games of all time. I still, whenever I have family over or someone comes over, I'll try to push them to play in the game against me because I have a really good habit of knocking people off the course and then still winning somehow. Yes, I'm a bully when I play Mario Kart Wii. But anyways, this game I remember I played it in versus Bowser for the first time, bro. That was like the hardest challenge of all time. Bowser was so hard, and I was like, it took like 2 days to beat him. And then I remember I came back to the game like a year or two ago, and I just beat him like in like 2 attempts. And I was like, oh wow, I've grown as like person. Like, wow, I actually can destroy this. It's easy. It's playing this game you realize, wow, this game's actually not even that hard at all. To be fair, when I played Mario Wii, bro, it was my first time holding a Wii controller. I was so confused. Like how to, I didn't even know what the buttons did. Like I didn't know how to sprint for a while. Anyways, can you show off your Wii? I don't have the Wii anymore. It's gone. I have a Wii U though, but yeah, whatever. What the? Okay, I pressed the button.
It'd be more work, but what if we start designing double boss fights from the ground up? Two bosses provide a challenge unique to most games, even when combat is focused on dealing with groups. Having two bosses to deal with simultaneously creates a lot of intimidating yet fun and nuanced problems to handle on the fly, especially when the bosses are different in ways that complement each other. In Hades, when you reach the end of the third area, you're pitted against Theseus, the former hero king of Athens, and Asterius, the bull of Minos. These two are carefully designed to be a contrasting duo both in character
I have
and
never
gameplay.
heard of this game, by the
Theseus
way.
is a pompous, punchable jerk whose demeanor miraculously never changes, no matter how many times you beat him. And Asterius is a stoic, honorable warrior who's pretty chill. The pair's stark contrast extends to how each of them fight.
Looks like Kai from Kung Fu Panda. Bro, I watched Kung Fu Panda. I have no idea who Kai is, bro. Not gonna lie.
Asterius is an aggressive close-range brawler with heavy melee combos, leaping attacks, and a tracking bull charge that you will need to avoid by taking cover by a pillar. His attacks get heavier when his health hits the halfway mark. Theseus is a more defensive fighter that prefers to attack from a distance with his spear. He has a shield out at all times that you have to flank to do damage. When he's at half health, things get way more chaotic.
It basically sounds like the twins from Terraria, like
The
that.
aid of one of the 8 Olympian gods at random, who give him a new...
Kai's the yak with long horns. I didn't even know there's a yak in Kung Fu Panda. I guess I didn't watch it. I know I watched it, oh my god, 5 years ago. Yeah, that explains everything. Yeah, I remember watching it in 2020. Oh, okay, that explains so much. It's a bowl. Yeah, I still don't know who that is, so I guess I have to rewatch them. I don't really watch movies like that, and most movies I forget in like less than a year. Like I forget the whole plot. Besides like a couple movies, and those movies will include obviously Star Wars, all the Star Wars movies. Well, they were the good ones, and then I'm trying to think. Oh, Jurassic Park 1, obviously, and then Dark Knight Rises. I will always remember that movie. Every other movie though, I can't. There's not any other movie I can think off the top of my head where I can recall the plot. Like, oh yeah, this is exactly what happened. I don't watch movies. I don't know.
New attack. Each attack is slightly different based on the god, but they generally fill the arena with a pattern of AoE circles to avoid. And when the two are together, they can team up for a big shockwave or a fastball special. Theseus and the Minotaur play off of each other extremely well. They have distinct roles that are easy to understand and provide choices to make on the fly when fighting them. Depending on your build, you will need to decide whether to focus down one or try to take care of them at the same time. No matter your choice, you can't sleep on either of these two. You're
Yeah, I mean,
always
this
on
is
high
literally
alert so you
definition
don't
of
get
twins from
blindsided by the
Terraria.
other, and each of their second phases are a force to be reckoned with. It's an intimidating fight that can easily end a run if you're not careful, or if your build just isn't quite right. Theseus and Asterius make a great team that provides a real challenge no matter how many times you face them. Lots of double bosses have specific roles for each member of the pair, like offense and defense, or healing and attacking. Though sometimes leaning into those roles too hard creates an overly simple fight. In No More Heroes 2, you fight New Destroy Man. This guy was literally split in two in the first game, and both parts are back as cyborgs.
Bro, how
fight
many games has this guy played, by the way? He's played so many games. It's crazy. To be fair, I've played a lot of games. I've just never heard of any of these games, basically. It's crazy.
You 2-on-1. One is a close range brawler, while the other snipes you from as far away as possible. No problem there, until you take down the closer one first. Once the fight is just against the ranged cyborg, the pacing slows to a crawl. The sniper continues to keep his distance, flying around the arena and landing in places you can just barely reach. You have to wait around until the AI decides to jump to the ground and try to revive his partner, where you can jump in and get a few free attacks. He'll run away, fly around for a bit, maybe take another pot shot at you, and then come back to try and revive again. That's it. If you run up to him too quickly, he'll likely just fly away. If you try to chase him down, he'll keep flying away faster than you can keep up, and probably get an easier chance to revive his buddy in the process. You just don't have the tools at your disposal to take him out at range for any real damage. So the fight slows down to a chip damage contest that saps the energy out of what had been a fun fight. The weird design turns it into a slog. If you get it right, double bosses where both characters have unique roles can create a nuanced fight with more layers than you might pull off with a single boss. There's an interesting dynamic that pops up in the double boss fight. Since there's two things to deal with, what happens when you take one of them out?
I'm trying to remember. What does this boss fight... how does it open? Is this how it opens? Honestly, does this, like, to me, this part of the fight, by the way, I remember this part of the fight, is good because basically it just feels like one little challenge. It doesn't feel like two bosses fighting at once. Like, oh, you just have to walk into, like, towards the wind, but the wind pushes you back and you have this bouncing down, like, oh, just, you know, just be careful where you're moving. It doesn't feel like two enemies fighting at once overpoweredly.
Since there's two things to deal with, what happens when you take one of them out? Different choices make the fight play out differently. Does nothing happen? One goes down and the other just acts as they were? Well, if you got through fighting two things at once, how hard is taking out the remaining half going to be? If nothing happens, the fight might all of a sudden become very easy, and that might be what you want. But you can do way more complex things too. Slower paced strategic games like turn-based RPGs can really benefit from the extra strategy options that a double boss can unlock. In Bug Fables, there are a couple of encounters against a rival team. A vain diva moth called, Mothiva, and her wasp bodyguard, Zasp. Zasp is attack-oriented,
this game
with
is
multi-hit
crazy.
moves and the ability to boost his damage for 2 turns. Mothiva has tons of attack and support abilities. She can hit your whole party at once, raise her partner's defense, use the game's turn relay mechanic to give Zasp...
Okay, that's a dumb thing though, because literally it's always going to be random because we don't know the game. Just because we don't know the games. Like, what I'm trying to say is, oh my god, I'm so bad with words. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, like, you know, it just feels random. Well, it is random no matter what because we don't know what's going to be picked next. I mean, I don't know. It's just interesting he's picking a bunch of games that, like, you know, I've never heard of and are not relevant. I don't know if they're not relevant. That's the thing. I don't want to say that because some of them might be. I'm not, like, into... I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know much about
Zasp an extra attack, and she can even revive him back to low health. You'd think that would make taking her out first a no-brainer, but if you do that, Zasp gets a permanent attack boost, which can be devastating in a game where every hit point counts. Even targeting Mothiva at all gives her bodyguard a bonus. Attacking either one ends up creating complications that you have to account for. The wider variety of options that a second enemy character opens up makes the fight with these two much more interesting than either of them would be alone. Since most every double boss involves fighting two things, they usually will present the player with a choice.
I hear Dark Souls
what should
music.
they prioritize attacking first? Depending on the roles the bosses have, it might be obvious. If one of the two is a healer, taking that one out first will probably shorten up the fight. If a long distance boss is too hard to catch, you'd probably want
Wait, that's not Dark Souls music. I'm stupid. That's Terraria music. I think that's from Calamity. Mothorania over Mothron? Mothrania over Mothron is crazy, bro. Like, what? Why are we talking? That's so weird.
To deal with the closer half first. But some pairings can make for more interesting choices.
Here it is.
Look at the Ornstein and Smo fight in the first Dark Souls. Smo is a big, slow berserker with a wide, heavy hammer attack. Ornstein is faster and more precise with his spear. They're a classic Dark Souls boss, where you're managing the positioning of the two, minding their attacks, and waiting for solid openings to strike. It's a great fight, but what makes it stand out is that you're given an interesting choice in how.
I think the problem with this fight, really, like I said earlier, is Dragon Slayer, because Smaug is really not that hard. If we're being honest, Smaug is not that big of a deal because he's super slow, he's clumsy, his dodge, he's so easy to dodge. But dude, the amount of times, bro, that the Dragon Slayer, bro, would just run across the arena at the speed of light and hit me in angles that you just wouldn't think would be possible is so infuriating. Also, it has projectiles that spam you, so you have to take him out first. Is he gonna glaze the boss fight? I don't know. I think a lot of people. I don't know. I heard a lot of people don't like this fight, but or think it's really hard. I don't know what people actually think about it though. Is like
to approach
it or not.
Depending on which one of the two you take out first, the remaining boss gets a powered up second phase.
Yep.
The choice you make is the trick. Fighting a more powerful Smo is the easier of the two to
It
deal
is.
with, but Ornstein is more difficult to take out in the initial phase, as he's smaller and faster, and has Smo's wider attacks covering him. Do you want to take the more difficult fight head on, or wait until the battlefield clears out a bit and save the challenging part for
I don't
later?
think I've ever. Wait, what? Wait, he gets bigger? No way. Dragon Slayer in the second phase gets bigger? Oh yeah, hell no. I'm glad I never dealt with that before. Oh my god.
Ornstein and Smo's synergy and second phase choice make for a challenging fight where there's no clear correct answer to how to approach it, and the same double boss fight can unfold.
People agreed? People agreed with what? Let me see this. I don't know what the consensus on. Ornstein and Smaug is overrated, poorly designed boss battle. Let me just, I guess I'll read this. My thoughts are simple. Ornstein and Smaug are difficult for the wrong reasons. Fail at the entire point of dual boss unless you're suicidal. The fight's the easiest method. Same one everyone else does. Yeah, okay, yeah, this is basically just saying these bosses are like two different bosses put in one room, and I totally agree. There's no synergy. That's the problem with this boss fight. It's like there's no chemistry. Just like every other, well, not every, but most boss fights, double boss fights in FromSoft games feel exactly like that, where they just put two random bosses in the same room and call it a day. I don't know. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. Of course, and then this guy's gonna be like, I completely disagree. One is fast and sticky. Okay. I don't know how. Yeah, no. Reading that just made me confused because sticky is not a word I would you ever use in a boss fight to describe it. So I don't know what this guy is trying to say. Whatever. What does sticky mean? I don't know. Whatever.
Fold in a bunch of different ways. Where Dark Souls presents the power-up idea as a choice for the player to make, Devil May Cry 3 uses the same idea as a punishment. Agni and Ruja
Wait,
are
what?
a
You
pair
could
of
use a
ogre-like
gun in
demons
this
standing
game?
in your way. Maybe you try to
Wait. This game might actually be good then. Bro, the longest time, I've been trying to, I really wanted to play a game where it's like Dark Souls, but you have a gun. Which, it sounds OP because it is.
the health of just one of them first. Classic mistake. The other one is now way stronger. Good luck. If you split the damage more evenly before taking one down, the second one shouldn't last too much longer. The game even tries to suggest that you operate that way, as you're learning the rhythm of their attacks and getting better at breaking their guard.
Dude, this looks like a
swapping
lightsaber
between the two
duel,
will feel
almost.
pretty natural. These two are a classic example of a double boss that forces you to carefully consider how you split your attention. Okay, let's take one more big step back.
You know what I really hate about double bosses in games is when, oh my god, the Four Kings from Dark Souls 1, that's the boss. Dude, that boss kind of sucks because basically it's like, it just randomly you'll just be like ganged up on by a bunch of other bosses of the same boss. Like it's basically the same boss but multiple of them, but they slowly like add more and more of the same boss into the arena the longer you go. So basically you have to focus on one and it has like these annoying attacks and then you have to, deal with like getting attacked by like four other beasts near the end of the game. Like you have four other of them attacking. And yes, they usually don't attack when you're like next to one and focused on one, but sometimes they do, and that was so infuriating. It just felt so frustrating. Cause like, dude, what am I supposed to do when there's a boss behind my back that just randomly swings and I have no clue about it because I'm super focused on one boss already? That's infuriating. How does bro fight without a head? I don't know. Don't know. There's headless. The headless. Wait, no, headless. Oh, headless from Sekiro. They fight. I don't think I've ever beat a headless in Sekiro, and I've done everything else in the game. Like, I'm kind of a loser for that. No, I'm just kidding.
Double bosses are a unique type of fight. If you're feeling even more creative, the double boss fight format can give you a lot of freedom to design a unique experience. Stereo Lovers in Sayonara Wild Hearts is not a traditional boss fight at all, but it uses the double theme to make something you haven't seen before. You're up against twins, and their opening song is a back and forth between two parallel worlds. On the beat, your track shifts from one world to another, and your positioning carries over between the two.
Oh,
You have to
that's
look
actually
ahead and
looks really
remember
great.
where you're supposed to stand, then time your movements with the music so you're in the right place during the shift. You're shifting your attention from one situation
Wow, that's
to another.
great. Oh
just
my
like
God.
in a more run-of-the-mill double boss
That
fight.
actually looks
But
really
in
fun.
the context of how Sayonara Wild Hearts plays, the double boss gets a different meaning to create one of the most memorable parts of the game. Since there's two
Subway
parts of a double
Surfer clears. God. Dude, Subway Surfers is overrated. Yeah, it was a classic when I played as a kid, yes. But nowadays, bro, like, dude, why would you ever play it? It's so bland. Like, dude, oh wow, try to get a high score, yippee! Like, I hate those games because, it's just like eventually it's just like you're doing the same thing over and over and over for what? Oh, but you can grind the game to unlock, free currency or whatever it is to unlock cosmetics. Boring. Like, dude, I don't want to play the same thing every single day for hours. Why did you delete your message?
boss, what's forcing you to even have both of them be in the same place? Near the end of Nier Automata's campaign, you'll ride an elevator up a tower to encounter this spherical robot named Koshi. Go fight. Partway through, the camera cuts away and your other character is flying up the side of the tower, fighting a similar robot, Roshi, in a shmup-style sequence.
Roshi, bro.
Partway through that, the camera cuts back to the elevator for another round with Koshi, then back to the shmup, then back to
This
the
actually
elevator.
looks pretty fun.
Back and forth you go, faster and faster, until you're both at the top of the tower. The two separate fights fuse together, and now you're fighting both at once.
Wow,
Even
that's...
at this point, you're still swapping characters periodically. The framing that Nier Automata uses throughout the fight does a ton to make it stand out. There's also a ton of story context tied in here that I'm not gonna spoil. You go do it. I don't think we talked enough about every double boss ever, so you're gonna have to tag team in for me down in the comments.
Ooh, I'm
Let's
gonna
talk
read the
about some more
comments then.
great double bosses, how their developers altered their gameplay to make them fit, and the unique setups and framing that made those fights so memorable. Maybe next video we'll talk about the elusive triple boss.
Ooh, triple boss. Have I ever fought one of the triple boss? I mean, yes, technically in Hollow Knight, but that's about it. I can't think of like any case where I fought a triple boss really. Yeah, no, not really. Huh. Bro, this guy's 111 videos about diving into game design. It's crazy. I did not know this guy. This guy's basically an analyst then. Okay, let's see what the comments have to say. I'm very curious. Mantis Lords, yep, the Twins of Terraria, Double Boss. Yep. Mantis Lords. I mean, a lot of these I don't even know. Wait, what? The final count of all Smash Ultimate? There's bosses in Smash? I didn't even know that was a thing. Twins. More Smash Ultimate? Dude, what the hell? I did not know this was a thing. A fun double boss that really exploits its theme. Oh my god, right! It's the Cuphead DLC! Oh, it's the boss where it's like, if you look away from the one, then the one, so like basically there's a boss on both sides of the screen and they both like shoot projectiles. The one you look at doesn't, like those projectiles don't damage you, but the ones you're not looking at damage you. It's very fascinating because basically like, you know, ideally you look the other way to dodge, like to, you know, press the dash button to dash past the projectiles, but then you have to deal with the other projectiles that are now heading towards you. I'm not describing it well, but yeah. The demon and the angel. Yes, yes, yes. I forgot about that. Yeah, so a lot of people seem to be liking, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what, I don't really know. I'm not gonna read all these comments, but I like how everyone has like different like takes on this. Like it's like, oh wow, everyone has their own like, you know, unique boss that they found interesting. Don't forget the Tipsy Troop from Cuphead? Tipsy Troop. What? Tipsy Troop? Cuphead? Oh, right. Bro, it's been a while since I've played Cuphead, I'm not gonna lie, so all this is like, oh yeah, I probably should replay Cuphead. If I was gonna, oh my god, no way, this guy has, no way. I don't believe this.
Hey, welcome back to Cool Kids Art, and
Never mind, it's not, okay, Cool Kids Art is not what I was thinking. I thought it was the guy with the Batman channel logo. He makes similar video. Bro, I used to watch this guy. Oh my gosh. So now look at my recommended. Oh, there it is. Cartooning Club How to Draw.
What's up, everyone, and
Okay, so he kind of ruined his channel, but because that's weird.
welcome to the club.
But no, basically he just like draw like a ton of different things, and I would basically like just draws like all the stuff from Clash Royale and Clash of Clans and Fortnite. And that's how I learned how to draw somewhat decently cartoon. Not really great at it, but I was decent at it. Well, at least the face, but I couldn't draw like bodies and stuff. But that I mean, yeah, this guy was great. But I'm never gonna watch it again because I'm not interested in drawing anymore. I don't know. Show me your favorite video from him. I have no idea, bro. It's been, oh my god, probably like 8 years or 7 years since I last watched him. Because you know that's just how it goes. Yeah, so, you know, I mean, I think the main thing I really want to say is that double bosses can work, but when it feels like, well, the two main problems with double bosses in a lot of the cases is either A, the attacks overlap each other, so you get attacked while you're attacking one of the bosses, they attack you at the same time, which can be very annoying. You know, like where it's like, oh, I'm focused on this boss and now I'm being harassed from like an angle I can't see the other boss in. Like that's where it's annoying. And also when they're not like synergy and it just feels like two random bosses in one, that's when it's like those are the worst case scenarios. Otherwise, it usually is not that bad. I'd like to say the best double bosses are the ones you don't consider double bosses. And yeah, I mean that's really it. Like twins, I don't really consider that a double boss. Like I know it sounds stupid, but like I don't really think about it and go, "Oh, that's a double boss." Because when I think of a double boss, I think of it in a negative connotation. Now, other people might not agree with me on that, but that's what I think. Anyways, that's it for the stream. Hopefully you enjoyed. Sea traders, do they count, by the way? I don't know what sea traders are. Sea traders. Let me research traders. I'm assuming it's from Terraria, maybe? Terraria Calamity? Never mind, no. I don't know. I don't know. It's oh the sea. Oh, I know. Oh yeah, no, they're a good. They're a good double boss. They're fine. I think they're great. Subnautica? Oh. I was thinking of the one where it's like, you fight an underwater, like, angel guy, and then, or girl, and then, like, the beast comes out. Oh, like something Leviathan. Sea Traders, though? I don't know what Sea Traders and Subnautica is. Sea Traders, Subnautica. Sea Trader Leviathan? What? What are you talking about? That reminds me, when Subnautica 3 comes out, bro, I'm gonna stream that for sure. That's one of those games I'm excited for. Not even kidding. Anahita and Leviathan. Yes, that's the one. That's the one. I think that's a fine double boss fight because it only happens in the last phase, and so it's not too brutal. Sea Traders are in groups. Well, that's not a boss, though. It's just like a thing in the world. Like, what? Alright, whatever. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. And, yeah. Peace.